often ask me why I should buy an APC net shelter rack. Well, today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about that, but before we do that, I'd like to pose a couple of questions to you. Firstly, number one, given a rack is going to last over 10 years, how many IT refreshes do you expect to make in that time? Question two, what type of hardware are you going to be putting into that rack? And question three, are you likely to change hardware manufacturer during the life of that rack? Now, if you're like most people, I'm guessing you're going to be telling me you're not sure to any of the above. And for that reason, you're going to need a rack that's going to be a scalable platform for the future that can last you for more than 10 years. The chances are, at some stage, you've tried to fit multiple different server manufacturers' servers into one rack in a mixed environment. This is a pretty common scenario in a data center, and the reality is you probably ran into a few problems trying to do that. There may have been a bit of frustration, things didn't line up, things didn't quite fit, cables got in the way, and it wasn't really an enjoyable experience. APC racks are a true multi-vendor enclosure, and they come with a fits-like-a-glove warranty. What does that mean? It means that any major server manufacturer's gear will fit in our racks. Fitting lots of different brands and types of equipment into one rack really starts with good depth and flexible rail configurations. However, that's not the whole story. We can break it down into three sort of key areas that we address. And these are add-ons to the APC rack, which just happen to spell APC. The first is your accessories. The second is your power distribution. And the third is your cooling. We have many bolt-ons that add on to the rack to provide a very flexible solution. So firstly, accessories. A customer a few years back actually summed it up really well for me. He said, "You guys have got a part number for every one of my problems." And he's right, the range of accessories is very vast. And secondly, power distribution. We have a range of power distribution units that range from a 2 kilowatt rack right up to a 20 kilowatt blade rack. They fit neatly in the rear and take up very little space, leaving plenty of room for airflow and cable management. There are three basic types. We have the entry-level basic version, the metered version, which gives local current display and network connectivity, and the premium switched version, which gives you individual control of each outlet within the rack. And thirdly, cooling. The net shelter forms the basis of a platform that you can add to from a cooling standpoint, from a simple air removal unit or air distribution unit, right up to in-row cooling or our hot aisle containment solutions. I asked a few customers why they buy APC racks, and I spoke to one guy and he said, "It's like buying Cisco. If you've got a problem, you just Google it." There's such a community out there globally that someone will have tried to put that piece of equipment in that rack somewhere, sometime before. He told me the story of how he was trying to install 4 C-class blade chassis into one rack. He Googled it and came up with not only directions on the best way of doing it, the best way to cable it, but pictures showing him how to do it. I asked another customer what he felt were the benefits of buying an APC rack, and to my surprise he said that an APC rack produces a very aesthetically pleasing data center. And what that tends to do is it tends to make people take care when they're running cables, care when they're mounting servers. So when there is a fault in the data center, then you end up with a very, very fast resolution. So in summary, buying a rack is not just buying bent metal. It's about buying something that's going to house your IT gear for more than 10 years, and that's going to mean seeing multiple IT refreshes. So getting this purchase right now is going to save you a lot of pain and heartache in the future. Pulling a rack out once it's installed is not going to be easy, so getting it right is going to be important. APC have offices in every major city around Australia and New Zealand. Our engineers and salespeople would be happy to help you with your requirements, and we can be easily contacted at www.apcc.com. Thank you.